Hello everyone, this is the Captain Swan podcast number 30, and I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and I'm here with a few of the Captain Swan podcast people. We are a smaller group today, and they're going to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Izzy, and I'm at Izzy Reed on Tumblr. Not on Tumblr, Twitter even. You were talking about Tumblr and it confused me.
Sorry.
I'm Lisa, and I'm You Brought Me Home on Tumblr.
I'm Michelle, and I'm To the End of the World or Time on Tumblr.
I'm Rome, and I'm Ginny Jing Streeter on Tumblr.
Okay, so the original plan for this episode was to discuss Tallahassee and the end of season 2B, 2A, etc. But we are not gonna do that. We're gonna talk about the spoilers because the cast has been filming in Storybrooke in Stemstone, which is the set for Storybrooke, for the first time for season 4, and we got a lot of spoilers, a lot of pictures. We have a lot to discuss, so we are gonna just do that. So if you are spoiler free, this is not the episode for you. I'm sorry. There are gonna be a lot of spoilery podcast episodes because next week it's Comic-Con, so we'll have those spoilers to discuss. So yeah, I don't know when we are gonna go back to Tallahassee. Are you guys been following the spoilers? Do you guys know everything that's happened?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely, absolutely.
They're hard to avoid.
Yeah.
I can't even avoid them just on Twitter.
I mean, let's put it this way. Michelle has changed her iPhone cover about 7 times since Wednesday.
Guilty.
Okay, so maybe we should start by doing a recap of all the spoilers we got, all the pictures we got, because yeah, maybe not everyone is as updated as we are. So who wants to do it? First of all, the episode is called A Tale of Two Sisters. And yeah, obviously it's about the flashback. We know it will be about Frozen. So yeah, that's like half the episode there with no Storybrooke, no familiar characters, which I'm a bit unhappy about because I would have preferred to have the premiere be all about the people we know. But we also got the first picture of Elsa in Storybrooke. What did you guys think of Georgina Egg as Elsa?
She's perfect.
hot.
Perfect.
And
Looks really great.
it does look really great. And I know a lot of people were talking about how they like the dress from the finale, but I think I prefer this dress because it's literally as close to her animated dress from the movie that you can possibly get in real life. So A+.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that's the first time we've had something so similar to the original content, like in terms of costuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe Belle's dress from Skin.
Yeah.
The one.
Well, both of Belle's dresses, the blue one and the gold ball gown.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that Adam and Eddie, they're serious when they say that they want to be as respectful to the film as possible. And
Speaking of Adam and Eddie, can we talk about that little interview they gave Entertainment Weekly about the Frozen arc?
No relations. Woohoo!
Yes. Number one, Elsa is not getting a love interest. No love interest. Please do not come to freak out about Killian flirting with her or some junk. It's not gonna happen. She's not getting a love interest. Everyone remain calm.
I mean, poor girl, she's been in that turn for years and years. I think she deserves to have Killian flirt with her a bit further. Just like he does with everyone. It doesn't matter.
I think it would matter to Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a girlfriend now.
but the biggest deal is she's not related to anybody in the cast. Thank you, God.
Oh, I'm so happy about that.
Yes.
They're pretty much they're just continuing where the Frozen movie left off and continuing that story going forward.
And the other important thing from that interview is about Elizabeth Mitchell's character, who is coming on. Elizabeth Mitchell, who was on Lost, for those of you who don't know, she played Juliet. And she is either Anna and Elsa's mother who didn't die in the shipwreck, or she is the original Snow Queen.
Okay, and Ro had some kind of theory, like you were telling us about before. Like, what were you saying about Elizabeth Mitchell's character?
Well, my theories never turn out to be true. Well, actually, no. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just with the time travel being a factor, I mean, she could be just another version of Elsa who was never released from the urn and maybe became the Snow Queen. I don't know. It's possible. We're talking about fantasy. I don't know.
Yeah, to Elsa, it becomes a bit like Fringe, since we have one Elsa from Fringe who wasn't Fringe. Did you guys all watch Georgina in Fringe?
I did.
No.
My headcanon is that the Snow Queen was responsible for whatever happened, like after the Frozen film, but because the village was already so used to having seen Elsa do what she could do, they are like automatically assumed that it was her, and she got blamed for things that she didn't do. So somehow Rumpelstiltskin got involved in this. I'm assuming because they needed someone to contain her. So he put her into the urn to make her stop.
I think that Elizabeth Mitchell ran afoul of Rumpelstiltskin, and so she trapped Elsa in the urn, pretending it was her, and that's how Elsa wound up in the urn. I definitely think Elizabeth Mitchell's the one who put her in the urn, though.
But we have a picture of Elsa with a newspaper in her hand, with the headline like Mr. Gold and Belle to Mary, and she looks mad. So she looks really, really angry. So I kind of think at least she blames Rumpel for it, for whatever happened to her with Hurna or whatever.
With the urn, yeah. That's a good point.
Wow. She and Hook already have something in common.
for their romance, you saying?
No,
for their mad love affair. Yeah.
No.
Hurts to even think about it.
Probably just angry that he got to have all these years of happiness and she's stuck in a freaking urn.
Well, remember, she was in the urn, and then the urn came through the portal, so she's kind of like Marion. The last 30 years haven't happened for her. We don't know how long she was in the urn before that.
Yeah, but obviously, like, she needs her sister desperately, and to not have her there, that's part of it too.
But we don't know Anna and Kristoff aren't in Storybrooke. We don't know that.
She doesn't either, so she's just plain out angry.
I wouldn't blame her.
Do you guys think Belle will be like, why are you blaming Rumpel for this? His heart is good and your is rotten. To Elsa too?
If she says something like that to Elsa, I'm officially punching Belle in the face.
She could say your heart is frozen instead of rotten, just to put him.
I really hope that she doesn't react like that, but knowing what she's like, she probably will.
If she starts shoving things under carpets, again, I'm gonna like rip her tongue out.
See, I'm kind of afraid about Belle and Rumpel and that whole deal because Eddie said that the theme of the first half of the season, at the very least, is to never give up on the people you love, and that's all Belle has ever done with Rumpel.
I get that, but she can't be that naive. I mean, seriously.
Considering the magnitude of the betrayal that he like literally just committed, she needs to like step back and be like, dude, I'm not sure this is worth it. I mean, ultimately she's gonna come around, but I need her to seriously take a pause and be like, is this really what I want?
Yeah.
He just seems
Go.
to like step all over her all the time.
If there's any kind of surprise to see that there is somebody else that has something out against her lover, then she's just stupid. Because how long has he been alive? How many people's he screwed over? Come on. Elsa's not the first, and she's definitely not going to be the last as far as that is. He's got a long list. A long list.
Yeah.
He cannot be that naive to think that there won't be more.
Well, we just talked about last week how Bella is kind of naive.
And then from the spoilers, since we were talking about Elsa, we also have like Elsa meeting a biker, like and getting scared. That's the other thing we see in storybook. So I think they're already gonna start painting her as like a victim. She won't be a villain or perceived as a villain for long.
No.
And, yeah,
She
and
just
then
looks scared.
Well, yeah, I mean that's like in the movie when Anna and Kristoff wouldn't leave her alone, she conjured that big giant snow monster.
It looks like that's what's going to happen here. Like, she goes from the barn, and she walks from the barn into town, down Main Street, and she sees all these... I mean, she's not from this realm, so nothing makes any sense to her. And then this biker whizzes past her, and she's probably terrified. So her instinct is to protect herself. So she conjures up this snowman, obviously, and that's when Grumpy does this whole, oh my god, we're under attack, blah, blah, blah. And Captain Swan gets cockblocked.
Again.
okay, so about the Captain Swan scenes, we have two of them as far as I understand. There's one where the Charmings are like walking and Hooks interrupts them. And then there's the other one where Hook and Hem are talking and Grumpy arrives with the "we are under attack." That's at least that's what I understood from the picture. Do you guys agree? What did you understand? What was?
Well, that's how I understood it, and there's also at least one more big group one that has like Robin and the Evil Queen, Robin and Regina, and I think Rumpelstiltskin's there, and Charming's there, and Emma and Hook are there too, that they filmed in the park.
Yeah, the one in the park, actually, I think there's Charming, there's Marian, there's Little John, there's not Rumple, there's Hook, Hem, Charming, Little John. Yeah, I think that's it. There's the usual Captain Swan, Charming, Regina, and then the Robin Hood people, and then Grumpy and Sleepy.
Well, based on all of the photographic and video stuff that we've gotten, it kind of goes down like this, from what I can tell. The episode picks up where season 3 left off, that night at Granny's. And Marion sees that obviously there's something going on between...
Well, no, Regina runs out of the diner, and Robin follows her, and then Marion, not being a slow person, figures out that the Evil Queen, the woman who is going to have her executed, has the hots for her husband, and she flips out.
Yeah, she goes outside, she calls her a monster, they get into a screaming match, Regina walks off. When they see that they've drawn a crowd, Emma tries to go and talk to her, but Hook holds her back. Robin is left in there because Marion takes off with the boy, so Robin's left staying there going, which one do I go to? Oh, shit.
I didn't hear anything about Emma going after Regina and Hook stopping her. I
heard about that. I also heard a possible... I only saw one report, so I don't know if this is actually happened or is a rumor, but that Regina and Emma get into a possible stare-off, possible argument too. I don't know if that's
I
actually
actually
legit.
think that was a mistaken report because it was night when it was filmed and people
Yeah.
heard the screams and they assumed it was like Hammer and Regina, but it's actually
Marion
Marion,
and
yeah,
Regina.
yelling. I don't think Regina like yells back. I hope not.
Well,
And I'm not.
there is that picture of Regina walking away looking very upset and sad or angry
Yeah,
or something.
so yeah, hopefully she lets Marion like say her thing and doesn't say anything, or doesn't yell back because I mean, what can you yell? Why are you yelling at me? I was just trying to murder you. I don't
I
know.
don't.
Well,
Wait,
I
it's
don't think.
Regina. She's not exactly rational.
what
But
can
No.
you
I
do to
I don't.
defend yourself?
I don't think she would yell back. I don't. I highly doubt she's going to do anything if for nothing else than for the boys' sake. She's not going to do that in front of her son, Roland. I mean.
Or Roland.
Well, it didn't stop Marion from screaming at Regina, and Roland's right there.
Oh,
Henry's probably
Marion's
used
kind
to
of.
it by now.
Harry is used to it. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, definitely there will pick up where they left off, and then there'll be the next day. Uh, I think there will be the charming walking with a stroller. That will be the first scene from the next day.
The next
Yeah,
morning,
and
they were walking down the street with the stroller. Henry and Charming go up forward ahead, and Snow and Emma are talking with the baby, and then Hook comes from behind and taps and grabs her arm to ask to talk to her. Snow sees and kind of goes like, but then walks away.
and now correct me if I'm wrong, because there is an infamous blocked scene that involved Jen and Colin that I
No,
think.
actually, the person who's always on set, Kat Hampton, I'm not sure what her name is. She says that there is no blocked scene. So yeah, I don't think there is actually. I mean, people were saying it, but I think there was just the equipment blocking and people couldn't see. But yeah.
They
Well,
said
I
that
don't.
they said that with the finale though, didn't they? Because there was a block scene in the finale, and people just assumed it was camera blocking, when it was obviously the kissing
Exactly.
scene.
And somebody said they saw the exact same black screen that they saw with the finale.
I find that really funny, because like they don't seem to care about spoiling Outlaw Queen kisses or snowing kisses or even love stuff. But God forbid anybody should get Captain Swan kissing on camera. Oh my Jesus! That is
Well,
oh my
to
God!
be fair, the actors do need to concentrate. Maybe they need.
I mean, is it that much of a like?
Well,
them?
for the finale, it was kind of a big spoiler considering where we were in the episodes that had aired up until that point. Because that episode was filmed at the beginning of April, and person had just died like 5 days before that. So yeah, we're gonna make sure you don't see it. This time, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually a thing that happened or if it's not. But at the very least, we know we're getting at least 2 scenes with them alone. So that's good enough for me.
So they go into the alley to talk and proceed to do the whole trying very hard not to eat each other's face while they're doing the flirty thing.
Yeah,
And
because that's an alleyway. The other one is just around the corner with like a main street.
Next to the rabbit hole, yeah.
And that's the one with Grumpy.
He runs over, says we're being attacked,
Under
and
attack!
it's frozen solid, and then everybody, Charming hears it, I guess, and comes towards them, find out what's going on, and then they all run towards the big, huge snow creature beast thing in the middle of the
Which
street.
will be added later with CGI, possibly.
Obviously.
As for what happened on the 18th at Stanley Park, nobody knows because nobody saw it. All we saw was them showing up and getting into costume and then leaving after it was over. Nobody got any shots of the actual.
Oh, and we should probably talk about how there is now a shop on Storybrooke's Main Street called Modern Fashions.
No, that's always been there.
Well, it's the
been
first time
there.
anyone's actually noticed it, and it's like, really, really.
That was there last year too. I think the new shop was the ice cream shop. Any given
Yes.
Sunday, yeah, that's definitely new. The modern fashion one is old, but maybe they are gonna actually use it
They
for.
have to, because
Maybe
Colin's getting
it's
that new costume.
And the storybook savings and loan is also new, and they also replaced and updated the storybook sign at the town line, from what I can tell. Because some girl posted a whole bunch of pictures on Facebook that she had taken of all the different shops and stuff. So there was a couple
I
there
will
was,
be I will be shocked if Elizabeth Mitchell is not the proprietor of the new ice cream shop. Shocked. She
I
has to
thought it'd be
be.
Kristoff's business.
I have this headcanon. I know everyone thought that he was going to have to get new clothes because Elsa was going to freeze the whole town and make it too cold for him to wear that. But I have this headcanon that the reason why he has to get new clothes is because the tension becomes so much that he literally rips his clothes off. So he
Well, I have to. The only problem with that is leather is very difficult to rip. I mean, his linen shirt,
Aw.
sure, you could tear that, but the other stuff, not really.
Well, it's kind of stitched together at the
And
back.
you know what I kind of wish it would be Hook himself realizing that maybe he should, change his clothes.
Yeah.
To fit in like more because and not that I mean Emma clearly developed feelings for him while he was dressed like a pirate, but if he's gonna be a part of her life, if he's gonna like stay in Storybrooke and live there and stuff, he should probably find a way to fit in better.
It's
Yeah.
a very big step forward. It's a very, very big step.
Yeah.
To show
I also, sorry. I was also going to say I hope it's him that decides because I don't want it to feel like Emma's trying to change him, even though we know that that wouldn't be her motivation behind it. I wouldn't want it to feel that way, so I think that would be another reason why I'd want him to be the one to decide to do it.
I don't.
You know
I
what would
don't
be
think.
funny? It would be funny if he went to Charming and said, hey, maybe we should go
I don't.
shopping.
I don't think it will be her. I think he's just gonna realize that now that the ship is gone, and now that they have this thing that they have together, and he's obviously going to become a more permanent. He's obviously going to have a more permanent place there, and this is now his home. I think he's going to see now that it's time. It's time to fit in. To try and change. 'Cause
Yeah.
he can't. It's like the last part of him. He's holding on so hard to that because it's all he's got left. That is him. And I guess that's the last part of him he has to shed, the pirate part. He'll always on the inside be that pirate. He'll never not be. It's just like the material aspect of it, at some point is going to have to go.
Or maybe Grumpy will just start mocking him and he'll be like, F this crap.
And then he'll be running. The pirate changed his clothes, everybody.
Speaking of leather, I must give Colin like every prop in the world because old boy was out there for like 12 hours in 90-degree plus heat with leather pants on, a black shirt, the doublet, and a 50-pound leather coat, and was a total trooper. So yeah.
But he conveniently shed the vest and the coat whenever he could.
And oh my Jesus, that shirt, he was just like, I'm just gonna let it flap open in the breeze. I don't care. The shirt was like hanging off his shoulders, and I'm like, really? You need it on?
I tried to tell you all, no one would listen to me.
And then we found out he wears suspenders, which
Yes,
I didn't,
the suspenders apocalypse.
which I don't think anyone had ever noticed before.
He's never been without the coat on or the doublet on. He's never been like that down dressed before.
Yeah, he's never been without the vest.
Okay, so what kind of new outfit do you think he will get? What do you want him to get?
I think that I think personally that aesthetically it's going to be something as close to what he's wearing now as possible, like dark pants, a dark shirt, a leather jacket, and boots. Because Hook is one of the few characters on the show that you cannot mess with too drastically. Because if you do, if you try to get him to wear like a flannel shirt, even though as Colin he looks amazing in anything, flannel shirts, jeans, whatever. As Killian, it's different because of the way that he speaks. If you was to dress him in anything else, no one would take him seriously.
No, I think it's going to be. I mean, they managed to do it with Robin, where Robin's Storybrooke look. I mean, you still think of him as, you know, Robin Hood. He's got the green. He's got the green scarf, and he's got the leather strap, and he still like looks Robin Hood-esque to me, even in Storybrooke.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna.
They did it as close to his usual outfit as possible. Because if they were to depart from it too much, like I said, no one would take him seriously.
So at the very least, Killian is going to continue to wear some sort of leather jacket. It's probably going to be shorter than the one he's got now, but I think the leather jacket will stay.
Probably like dark white jeans, a dark
boots,
shirt.
And he's going to have like, you know, heavy combat boots or something.
And the jewelry obviously will likely stay, because that's just him.
What about the eyeliner? Do you think that will stay too?
It better.
Yeah, that's gotta stay.
Better.
It's got. There's too many jokes to be made about that for it to not stay.
Did you notice at Stanley Park the pictures of him? He was wearing the flip flops and the jeans, and oh my God, that alone was oh my Jesus. But anyway, when he was walking from his trailer, he wasn't in costume, but he had the liner on his eyes. I'm starting to think that this man is like wearing it just normally.
No.
I think he looked kind of funny with this normal clothes and the Hook eyeliner. So yeah, hopefully the new clothes don't make him look so strange with the eyeliner, because you need some special kind of clothes to pull it off.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's why the leather in some form or fashion has to stay. Leather makes that eyeliner just all good.
And can we talk about the fact that Josh, for some reason on set, is like having a dance party?
I think it's probably because that's the first time in a while he gets to hang out with someone who's not a newborn or his wife.
Yeah, he's probably sleep deprived.
All these grown-ups like right there, and they want to talk about something that's not dirty diapers, like toy.
There was this picture where he was on set. I guess it was between takes, and there was some dude that just happened to be sitting there. Maybe he was an extra or
it was Steven.
Shit.
It was Steven.
It was the cinematographer.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Goes from pole dancing to stripping his shirt off in season 3 to lap dancing in season 4. No shame. Meanwhile, Ginny. Well, you know, I'm not shocked that she's kept herself out of the way. I mean, when she's not shooting, I'm sure she's probably with the baby. You know, so.
The real baby.
The real baby, yes. The baby that's on set is either a plastic doll or a baby actor. It is not Oliver. It is not Oliver.
No, but that baby is still a good actor.
He's great at sleeping.
Well, hopefully that's all baby Neil will be doing.
I don't think he's getting a storyline this season.
And for anybody...
and wait, can we talk about Jared for a second? Because Jared was standing next to Josh. He's almost as tall as Josh now.
Yeah.
And I know we're not going to get to talk about Tallahassee today, but, you know, when you go back and you watch him in those early season 2 episodes, and then you look at him now, he's shot up about a foot.
And his voice is gone as well.
Yes. He has gotten so big. I'm almost sure that this season, in between all the the shenanigans with Elsa and stuff, I'm almost certain that he's going to go. He's going to like start noticing the girls, and then
Yeah.
I
Wasn't
think they're gonna have. I think they're gonna have to give him another birthday sometime soon because, I mean, he's
Emma's
supposed to be 12, but Jared doesn't really look 12. He looks like 13. He's 14 in real life, so they've got
yeah,
to do something soon.
and they need to stop having the season last 3 days each season because that's ridiculous. They need to manage the timeline better because yeah, they can't have a curse that steals 1 year like each season. What?
You know who needs to have a birthday? Emma needs to have a birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They both had, probably, yeah, for sure, both had a birthday in the last year, but I can't figure out what month it is in Storybrooke now.
Yeah, because Emma's birthday is in October.
Yes, but I have no idea what month it is now.
Well, I'm sure if they're talking about if the snow is going to be, if the snow and ice and stuff is going to be unusual, like it's not supposed to be like bitterly cold and stuff, then we'll probably get an idea of what month it's supposed to be. If it's like, it doesn't, like have a whiteout in October in Maine. I know it gets cold there, but it's not like, blizzards.
Yeah, but if they're taking up right where season 3 left off, remember a couple episodes before season 3 there was a freaking blizzard. So
It wasn't a blizzard, it was flurries. There were snow flurries in his hair.
So I mean,
Yeah,
it looked to me like it was late winter, early spring when the show left off. So they're gonna have to keep it that way somehow.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's like late February, early March or something, that's one thing. Then Emma just had a birthday not that long ago.
Right.
Her last birthday was probably in New York.
Yeah, it would have been her
Yeah.
30th birthday if Henry's 12,
Right.
because he was 10 when he found her.
Yeah.
We need to make the time frames make more sense because Jared is going to be getting taller, and with the puberty is going to affect him rapidly. So they need to really work on that.
Yeah, well, as long as Jen and Colin don't change.
I think they're already grown, both of them.
Colin would never change. Colin is Colin, and we love this.
I have a question because I'm not on Tumblr, so I don't get as many in-depth spoilers. I just get the kind of like the big ones and the interviews and everything. Have we heard anything about Will from Once Upon a Time in Wonderland coming on? Because there was rumours about him coming, and I haven't heard anything.
No one has, as far as I know, no one has seen him yet,
Okay.
and we've
Yeah.
been waiting.
If he had been in Vancouver, I think the paparazzi would have seen him and taken a picture of him at least. We did get reports of him being a series regular. It was back in April, but we haven't had any news. And it's not going to Comic-Con. It's not on the official guest list. And usually all the series regulars go to Comic-Con. So neither Will nor Robin Hood are on the official cast.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is Jared. This is Jared's first Comic-Con, though, right? He hasn't been before.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
He's from San Diego, I think, and so he was always there, but he was never invited on the panel. And I hope it's not awkward.
I don't think it was that he wasn't invited. I think he was too young.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think he was too young back then, but he's old enough now that he can go.
Mm.
Adam and Eddie did say that they were gonna. There might be some surprises, not like actors showing up, but I mean, they might let just a few spoilers here and there.
Yeah, I think the previous years the Comic Con before season 2 we got a teaser of Hook, and in the one before season 3 we got a teaser of Harrier. So I think it makes sense that we will get one of Elsa or maybe Anna this year, and then maybe some DVD extra, like they had the storybook talk show one year and the single book another year, which ended up being DVD extras. So they will probably show something like that.
If I'm right, I think that Jared is going in Ginny's place because she is not going.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes.
not unexpected at all. I understand, wants to stay home with the baby. And anybody, I swear to Jesus, anybody who keeps going on about the fact that she has not lost enough weight or blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I hate that.
Man.
As a woman who has 2 kids.
She has
Seriously.
She had a baby, for God's sake.
Plus, her character also just had a baby.
Well, yeah, so it makes even more sense.
They can't expect her to be completely svelte when the season 4 takes place right after 3 ended. That doesn't make any sense. And even if it didn't, it's her body, and she can lose the weight however she wants to.
She's literally one of the most beautiful women in the world, no matter what. So people need to just stop complaining.
Yeah, that was messed up.
You can pass a watermelon-sized object through your body, through a tiny your body, then you can talk to me. All right, so stop.
People are.
Well, I do have to wonder if maybe having kids like on the show and kids in real life might sideline Snow and Charming a bit during this arc.
Well, it didn't look like it was sidelining Charming. He was right there running with Emma and Hook. But I think that Emma and Hook are going to be the ones taking point in, like, the town's defense, whereas Charming and Snow will probably stick closer to home. But Charming will want to be in the thick of it. You know he will.
Yeah, Captain Swan will be the new Snowing. Snowing will go home, will stay home with the baby. Regina will cry, eat ice cream, and listen to Taylor Swift songs. And that's
okay.
all of it.
Yeah, see, and I said this the other day on Tumblr. I was like, with Regina and Outlaw Queen, I'm like, if she wants to go home and, have a good cry, eat some chocolate, listen to some sad songs, that's okay. But she needs to suck it up and realize that all this is happening to her because of her own terrible life choices.
I think she's the last person who should lecture anyone about consequences.
I know. As soon as she said that in the finale, when she said that to Emma, that actions have consequences, I'm like, seriously, you are not listening to your own advice.
Yeah.
Your actions have had huge consequences for thousands of people, and you do not seem to care.
Nope.
Now, personally, I have nothing against Marion because what happened to her was totally not her fault.
There are people already hating on her. How?
I don't hate on her. I hold nothing against her because, like I said, what happened to her totally not her fault. She's in the middle of a situation that's just really bad. But she needs to step off. I get that she's confused. She's afraid. She doesn't know what's going on.
Okay, whoa. No. See, you're talking about Marion, who 5 minutes ago, Regina, as far as she's concerned, Regina was going to execute her 5 minutes ago, and now she shows up and is reunited with her husband and son, and finds out that her husband has been making out with a woman who is going to execute her. In that precise moment, I would be screaming at Regina too.
I'm not talking about stepping off from Regina. I'm talking about Robin.
Robin is a dummy. Robin is a moron, and he chose to start making out with a mass murderer. And if random people on the street are like, the woman you're sleeping with tried to kill me and hold my family, and they want to yell at him, that's just what he gets, because that's what they deserve.
It's like the male Bell.
exactly.
Oh,
He's the male Belle, and I.
that's a fate worse than death.
Wow.
Marion's gonna have to come to understand that, you know,
Oh,
it might have
Jesus.
only been 5 minutes for her, but it's been 30 years for Robin. A lot. People.
Well, I know, and I'm sure that's gonna play. I'm sure that's gonna play out over the course of the half season, and Robin will ultimately choose Regina. But
Okay.
but they have to realize the consequences of all that too.
Okay, but that's different. I mean, it's been 30 years for Robin. Okay, that would be fine if he had chosen to to be with a random woman. That would be like, yeah, it's understandable. Marion is upset, but it's not Robin's fault. But he chose to be with a woman who kills people. Like, she's a murderer. He can't be like,
Well,
yeah, it's been 30 years. That doesn't matter.
Well, I now I didn't listen to the interview, and I'm not sure if the interview has posted yet. But one of the other Once Upon a Time podcasts like interviewed Sean, and he was talking about how Robin has this dark past, and that's why he connects so well with Regina. Now, obviously, we haven't seen that on the show, so I don't know if that's Sean's headcanon or something Adam and Eddie told him, or if we're actually going to finally see it on the damn show. But I don't think Robin is. I mean, we're trained to think of, Robin Hood, stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, and all that jazz. But maybe Robin's got his own like skeletons and people he's, not been nice to.
I'm sure he does.
That's why I think there should be like a Robin Hood backstory episode,
Mm.
totally unrelated to Outlaw Queen, just about him.
Well, he certainly seems to have some like anger in him, because there were scenes in Wonderland where they were showing that Will was in the Merry Men, and that whole thing happened, and Robin was really angry. Like he was really like bitter and mean about that whole situation. So he's definitely got some anger in him.
Yeah, and
Well,
I
he
hope
didn't do
they.
anything to him.
Well, no, but he was just verbally, he was quite
He berated Will pretty good.
yeah.
Well, if you remember in the original Robin Hood stories, Robin Hood was a minor lord, and then he left his home and he went to fight in the Crusades for many years, and he endured a lot there, and then he comes back and he sees that his country is falling apart because Prince John has taken over, and all he cares about is money, and everybody's poor and they're dying and they're starving, and the king can't do anything about it because he's in the Middle East. And then
actually, because
then you have to go through all that, and yeah, he's been through a lot.
I do have to wonder if Robin is actually from the real world and he just found his way to the Enchanted Forest.
No, they said Sherwood Forest is in the Enchanted Forest.
But you know something, if they're gonna do Robin Hood backstory, and somehow and somewhere in season 4 there's no other Killian flashbacks to father, mother, childhood, something, I will call shenanigans.
Just fun fact while we're on the topic of Robin Hood, I live about 20 minutes. 20 minutes away from Nottingham, where obviously the Robin Hood thing is from. And I was on the bus a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not joking. There was a poster saying about a Robin Hood festival with duck herding, and all I could imagine was Sean doing duck herding.
You should have taken a picture and sent it to him on Twitter.
That podcast that he was at, and I gotta tell you, Sean is the sweetest guy you will ever meet. He is just he is a sweet pie. Absolutely.
And a total trooper for putting up with the crazy Swan Queen people.
Yeah.
Oh, God. See, this is why I'm happy for any interaction between Emma and Elsa, because the whole Swan Queen, it's just so done. I don't care.
It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
Should we start shipping Frozen 1, Ice 1? Something
Yep,
No.
like that.
I'm good. I'm good.
Captain Swan.
I don't mind them having a friendship. I think that Emma needs that. She needs a friend that isn't associated with her mother, and I
But the
think that
problem,
also is a really great friend for her.
the problem with that is that Em and Eddie made it pretty clear that the Frozen arc is just going to be in 4A. So if it is, and Anna and Elsa and the gang aren't going to stay, then there's no point in developing any long-lasting like relationships with these people because they're not staying. If Emma's going to have a friend, I'm all for her having like a girlfriend she can talk to and stuff, but it's got to be somebody who's going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why I
I think
couldn't.
it might be more like a personal arc for her because, well, not only is she responsible for bringing Elsa to Storybrooke, she's also got a lot on her own plate with her own magic to deal with. So maybe that's something she can just relate to her about, and she can help her find her happy ending because she's the savior. And it would be a nice, well, obviously, comparison. Well, no more of a contrast to what Rumpel and Regina already had with Pan and Zelina, because that didn't end well. But for Emma, it could be different.
Yeah, I hope it goes like this, and then they can, even if the Frozen characters aren't like back, I after 4A, I hope they can like get them back for one episode, just like a one-off, so they still exist in that world. They can meet again. Because yeah, it's sad when some characters appear in one episode like Cinderella, and then they're never heard from again. Like they fell off the
Rapunzel.
earth.
Yeah,
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel.
Yeah,
I was so disappointed. And okay, to be clear, the girl who played Rapunzel was great. And I liked their take on Rapunzel, but I was just sad that she was just in the one episode.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. They should have waited to introduce her if they were just gonna do it like that. Because yeah, it wasn't really that well done. From a writing point of view, like you said, the casting was fine. But for a writing point of view, it was kind of dumb. Anyway, do you guys have any spoilers we forgot to mention? We just got the title for episode 2,
white
Whiteout.
out.
Why not?
So maybe it will be the snow episode, a snow episode.
As long as there's no more snow flashbacks, please.
Maybe people were speculating that since Snow was born at the end of a long winter, maybe the long winter had something to do with Elsa, or with the Snow Queen Elizabeth Mitchell is maybe playing.
Yeah.
So it could be a Snow flashback, but with just been born Snow, like with young,
Babies now?
with baby
Yeah.
Snow.
Let's parallel the snowstorm in Storybrooke with the snowstorm that preceded Snow's birth, just to have another snow flashback in there because we can't exist without a snow flashback.
And I love Snow, but there are other characters. Cough, Emma, cough.
Yeah.
Who
Then
have
again-
flashbacks.
Then again, I'd much rather have a Snow flashback than another Regina flashback.
That
This
is
is
true.
true. Or Rumpel, over the Rumpel flashbacks.
Yeah.
I would like a flashback with Snow's mother giving birth, and if they're gonna connect it with either Elsa or the other Snow Queen who was freezing in the winter. That could be a cool connection.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Honestly, what I would like to see, not necessarily for 4A because I know they've already got pretty much all that planned out, but for 4B, I know that they want to have they are always trying to pick from different stories and things like that, but it's almost getting to the point where things are starting to get narrow with what they have left to choose from. I would like to see someone from the outside, not another villain, not another Disney-fied character or from some other story, but it's just a normal person from the outside coming into their world and getting a taste of all this and going outside of Storybrooke and seeing how the outside world is affected by this. Because so far, no one outside of Storybrooke even knows that Storybrooke exists. I want that to change. Really, I think that would be a great story.
Okay, so I think we did talk about pretty much all the spoilers. Eh,
Olaf's not in the
Yeah, no
season.
Olaf.
yeah,
Although we do have Sven.
We do have Sven, thank goodness.
and we have a giant
Reindeer.
snowman. So yeah, there's gonna be lots. Hopefully, they will take their time to have a good like special effect for the giant snowman. Hopefully. Anyway, next week we'll have even more spoilers from Comic-Con, even more pictures, and Jennifer will be on live with Kelly and Michael on Wednesday, so maybe she's gonna talk about something interesting there too. Maybe.
You know Kelly is gonna want to talk about Colin.
I hope so.
It's Kelly Ripa. She's gonna want to know. She's gonna be like, "Hey, so you're dating the hot pirate or something?"
Just a small plug for anybody that wants to ask questions for the panels at Comic-Con, either for Yvette Nicole Brown or the person who is moderating the TV Guide panel with Colin in it. Send your questions to sdccquestions@gmail.com. Any and all questions, and hopefully they will make it to Colin and others.
And let's have a prayer circle that certain segments of the fandom do not cause a tiff at Comic-Con.
Yes, please.
And that they sit next to each other, please, Jesus.
Yeah, and that we don't start with when Swan Green going to happen question like we did last year.
Oh, God.
No.
I want them to do a Photoshop shoot, just them this year. There's no Michael to be like the third wheel. So hopefully, like TV Guide or Entertainment Weekly will have them do a photo shoot together. And I was saying the other day that they need to get once on the cover of some magazine. They haven't been for all of season 3. And like in season 2, they got both TV Guide and Entertainment Weekly on the covers. So they need another cover. So that's another thing we should put like out there in the universe. Good vibes.
And honestly, I was actually thinking about this a couple days ago. If after the panel's over, once all the actors go back into the press room to do their individual interviews, I know the way that they had it set up last year. They had Michael and Colin sitting together because of the whole triangle thing. But now that Michael is not there and that's over with, I swear to God, if Colin and Jen are not sitting at the same table for their interview, I'm going to kill them.
I think Jan will be alone. I think the big actors will be all alone, and maybe they will pair Jared with someone because he's so young. But I don't think they will get a lot of people like paired off together. Maybe Josh with Jared. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think they'll get Colin and Jan together for the interviews. They will be apart, I think. That's a bummer. I just bummed you.
But that kind of doesn't make sense because most of the questions that reporters would be asking them would be about the Captain Swan thing. So you could just kill two birds with one stone and have them together.
Well, I don't think they're really that into promoting the couples. Like, it's not like they're represented by the ABC.
Easily half the questions Colin and Michael were asked last year at that little table thing involved the triangle. Half of them.
My favorite one of those was when they asked straight off, and it was just like, oh, okay, straight into it.
Colin did the thumbs down.
Yes, that was hilarious.
They don't ask too many questions about Rumbell or snowing or even Outlaw Queen, but they definitely are interested in Captain Swan. Captain Swan is probably the biggest, like, if not the biggest, almost the biggest ship on the whole show.
Okay,
So
so
that's a guarantee that there's going to be questions.
if you guys have any last comments, otherwise we can end it right here. No comment.
No, I'm good.
Did you want to say something, Ro?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, then we are done. I will be back next week with all the Comic-Con news. I'm so excited. So yeah, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.